Hey you guys, this is Miranda, faking it in Denmark. I'm trying something a little bit different today. If you've been following my blog, you can obviously tell that I've not really been writing on it very much lately. And I'm not quite sure why. I think it's just sometimes I feel like my personality doesn't really kind of come through in my writing as well as it does maybe in person. And it is kind of tedious uploading all the photos and everything when I could just kind of do a video and show you. So I'm going to try doing videos and see if that works. People seem to enjoy it when I get on video and just act like my regular stupid self. So we'll give it a go. For my first video, I thought it would be fun to talk about some of the food that we brought back from Madrid. If you know me, if you follow me, you know that we were just in Madrid, Spain, for a long weekend because Maya, her daughter had her week 7 break. So we thought it would be fun to head down to Madrid, which we've never been to Madrid before. We've been to Spain several times. We have friends who live just outside Barcelona, and we also did a pretty big driving tour of the southwestern part of Spain, down in Malaga and Granada and Ronda and Sevilla. And so we've been up to Valencia, we've been to Barcelona and Argentona and Girona. And so this was really kind of our first time going to the middle part of Spain and experiencing what life was there was like. So I have to say I have a bit of a love-hate relationship with Madrid. It is very, very busy. It's a fun city. It is fun to go, especially if you love partying and nightlife and all that kind of stuff. But for me, as somebody who sometimes has some sensory issues, I actually experience sensory overload quite a bit. So it's just a lot of people for me. So it was really, really fun to get around to all the food stuff and experience all of that and walk around the city. The city's gorgeous. There's all kinds of really beautiful buildings and squares, and there's lots and lots to do. We did a day tour to Toledo and Segovia, which were gorgeous. But if you're like me and you need a little bit of a break sometimes Madrid can be a little bit taxing. But the best part of Madrid is all the food. Now, Spain, France, and Italy all have really, really strong food cultures. I love to eat. I constantly eat. Julia Child is my spirit animal. So, you know, I am a big believer in how the French and the Spanish and the Italians eat, which is, it's a very social thing. It's very communal. It is always really good quality ingredients. They're typically really fresh ingredients. So, there's just not a lot of processed food like you find in America. And especially in Spain, you get with the tapas, it's so great because you can go and, you know, get a couple different plates of different things and try a whole bunch of stuff. And it's just really, really fun, especially if you're somebody like me who likes to eat. So I thought I would show you some of the things that we brought back. One of the things that I love the most about Spain is Jamon Iberico. This is kind of, I hesitate to call it prosciutto because it's really not, but that's kind of the closest thing I can compare it to is prosciutto. The pigs that are used to make Jamon Iberico, I know are oftentimes, I think that's all of them, I'm not sure, but they are raised on acorns. So rather than grain, they are raised on acorns, and you can really, really taste that in the flavor of Jamon Iberico. It is, it gives it a very, very nutty flavor, which is very distinct to this kind of ham. The other thing that makes it quite different from prosciutto is just the texture. It is much chewier, a little denser, a little more meaty. and it just kind of sticks to your ribs a little bit more. So whereas prosciutto is this kind of silky, wafty, you know, little piece of ham, you know, Jamon Iberico is pretty beefy. Well, not beefy, porky maybe. And so it's got really, really good flavor. And one of the things that the second we landed in Madrid, I was like, I need some ham. I have to get ham. I need my Jamon Iberico. So I managed to bring some back, which is one of the benefits of living in an EU country. I got to bring some back. So yeah, I'm really excited about that. The next thing is, they're not placed very well, but we got some Marzipans from Santo Tome, and this is in Toledo. We did a day trip from Madrid to Toledo and Segovia, and Toledo is actually really known for their Marzipans. If you don't know what marzipan is, it is an almond paste. You see it a lot in wedding cakes. It'll be underneath the kind of that layer underneath fondant. There are also some really good Italian cookies. The red, green, and yellow Italian cookies that you see, those are actually marzipans. And these are little marzipan fruits. And I actually, when I got these, I was super excited because I'd actually never gotten to eat marzipan fruits before. I'd always wanted to, and so I told Josh, I was like, I have to get the little fruits. I thought it would be marzipan all the way through and just a big ball of marzipan paste. But I was actually really excited to find that when I bit into it, there was actually a hollow chocolate core. And that chocolate core was actually filled with a kind of fruity flavored gel. So you can see already, you know, there's the one that I ate. It was an apple, and the gel was actually apple flavored. So that was really kind of a neat surprise. So I'm hoping that the other ones, there's an orange, peach, lemon, and a strawberry. So I'm hoping that all of the other ones also have their corresponding fruit flavored gels on the inside for me to experience. Another fun thing that we got are these cookies. So we found out about these cookies are made by cloistered nuns. There is a convent in the middle of Madrid. It is on Calle de Codo, which literally means elbow street. But anyway, we found out about this from a video that we watched on YouTube. I can't remember off the top of my head what it was. I'll have to link to it. But it is this group of nuns who are cloistered. So because they're cloistered, they do not have contact with the outside world. Which you're probably asking yourself, well, how can they sell these cookies? So what you do is there are certain times of the day that they're open, and you go up to the door and you ring the buzzer, and they come on, and everything's in Spanish, of course. So they come on, they ring the buzzer, and you say, you know, cookies or dulces. I said dulces, and they buzz you through the bigger convent door, and you walk through a corridor into a little courtyard, and then you walk through another door into like a small area that had like no lighting whatsoever, and all you see is a turnstile with the little menu on the side of all of the cookies that you can get. You can get either half a kilogram or a whole kilogram. And they had maybe like 8 different kinds of cookies. And you kind of hear this disembodied voice, and he's, you know, asking you in Spanish what you would like. And so you kind of yell back through this, and there's a little, like a Lazy Susan kind of thing that's in the wall. So you can't see the nun on the other side of the Lazy Susan, but that's how you give them the money. So you hear this disembodied voice from the other side of this turnstile and asking you what you want, and so you tell them. And so we decided to get the galetas, which the galetas are like a lemon shortbread cookie. And so we got a half a kilogram of the galetas, and we put our money down on the turnstile and turned the wheel, and a couple seconds later the nun on the other side turned it again and we had our box of cookies. So it was just a really, really unique experience. You know, they're not like the best cookies I've ever had in my life. They're really good. But it was just something different. It was really an experience to get to go in and get these cookies from the nuns. So it is the Monasterio de Corpus Christi is the name of the monastery. So they're there in downtown Madrid. The next thing we got, I was very excited. This is Crema Catalana. And the first time I ever had Crema Catalana was back in 2007, and we had some friends who were very nice and took us around to Argentina and Girona. And I think the first time I had this was at this place called Montserrat, which is a monastery way up in the mountains, just north of Barcelona. And it's this monastery that's basically carved into the side of a mountain. And I think that's where I had this the first time. If not, it was somewhere in Barcelona. But anyway, this is probably my favorite liqueur. If you don't like eggnog, you will not like Crema Catalana. Because it tastes like eggnog, and that's why I like it. I'm a freak of nature. I love eggnog. I don't know how I made it through Christmas season this year because they don't drink eggnog here in Denmark. But this is kind of an egg custard liqueur. So I was really, really excited to get it because unfortunately the last bottle I had, I hoarded it a little bit too long and it ended up like solidifying in the bottle, and I went to go pour some out maybe a month or two ago because I was so desperate. I guess it was back in December because I was so desperate for eggnog, and I went to go pour it out and nothing came out, and I looked in the bottle and it looked like if you open up one of those Renews It air fresheners and it's got the little squishy gel on the inside. That's what my Crema Catalana looked like. So, so there was no drinking that. So we had to get a new bottle. And when I saw that there was a Corte Inglés in Madrid, which is where we've always gotten our Crema Catalana, we beelined it over there to the Supermercado, which is in the basement, and picked up some Crema Catalana. What else? Oh, we went to, I'm gonna say this place wrong. We got this at Le Pain Quotidien. And it is, I've seen this other places, but anyway, it's a Belgian hazelnut praline spread. It's kind of like Nutella, but it's not chocolate. It's praline. So it's a little bit softer, a little bit sweeter. We haven't cracked it open yet. But I've had it before in the past, and it's really good. You just have to be really careful with it because it can be pretty sweet. Although I have a savory tooth, so Maya gets on to me all the time because I don't eat sweets. I could eat salt all day long. That's why I can survive in Denmark, because I love salty foods. So to me, this is a bit sweet, but if you like sweet things, you should really try to track some down. Even if it's not, I mean, obviously you're not going to get the Le Pain Quotidien. But you might be able to find it in a specialty food store or something like that. So this is just look for a Belgian hazelnut praline spread. And so instead of the chocolate, it's the praline. The last thing we got is actually extremely American, but Maya was super excited that we found it, and that is Takis. She loves Takis. She ate these all the time in the US, and she loves it. And what's so funny is she pointed this out is that in the US these are called, unless we got a different flavor, in the US these are called en fuego, which is the fiery ones, but in Spain it actually just said hot. So So I thought that was fun. But anyway, this is some of the food we brought back. We had a really, really good time. I love eating my way through countries, and Spain is definitely the place to do that. If you love to eat, if you love good food, it is really the place to go, because basically every 10 feet there's someplace different to eat. And we ended up, we had some really great food experiences. Like Josh and I went to there's a really old food hall in the kind of the center of Madrid. Copenhagen has something similar. But it's just an old food hall with a bunch of different food stands, and you can get things like empanadas and olives and pastries and just all these different things. And we actually went in also because of the same YouTube video that we watched, that we found out about the Nun Cookies. We actually found out about this vermouth stand, so we decided to stop in and try some vermouth. We'd never tried vermouth before. It was actually really, really good. And so we went back a couple different times to go get some more vermouth, and then we'd stop and got a calamari sandwich. And the last thing that we did was we stopped and had some tapas at this little tapas place that was across the street from the world's oldest restaurant. Is verified by World Guinness Book of Records. That is the world's oldest restaurant. It's called Restaurant Botan. And it was started by a French person, which is why it's called Restaurant Botan. But across the street from Restaurant Botan was this little tapas place. I cannot remember the name of it. All I remember is that it had 2 yellow signs on either side of the door, and one of the signs said patatas bravas, which is one of my favorite Spanish tapas dishes. It's literally just fried potatoes with like a hot chili pepper sauce on top of it. So we stopped and had some beers and a little bit of ham and some patatas bravas, and we had some shrimp in garlic aioli sauce. And also some ham and cheese croquettes, which are also very popular tapas food around Madrid, so you'll always see those around. But I got one more ham, and I had some beer and some, we had some cafe con leche and some cappuccinos at the end, and it was a great way to end our trip to Madrid. So anyway, that's it. I thought it'd be fun to just talk about all the food things that we brought back, because we really like food, and I especially love eating. So anyway, yeah. I hope you enjoyed it, and maybe you'll do it again. Okay, bye.